Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. The date today is the 26th or the 27th, but it's actually a Friday. I've been telling myself that I'm going to shoot this video for the longest time. I've been back from home for quite a while and I've been telling myself that I'm going to shoot from then. But you know what, I just told myself today that I'm just going to sit and do it. So here I am. Today's video will be about, since I've done everything now and I'm finished, I'm so relieved to have gone through the whole process and everything. Even though it was such like a pleasure to do everything, it was also quite stressful. So I'm so happy with not only the results but the fact that I'm actually done. So today I am actually going to discuss with you guys the whole process, not actually discuss the process, but the main thing is I am going to tell you guys how much everything costed me. I'm doing this for anyone who might be planning to do this for their mother or a loved one that had passed on, just to kind of give you guys an estimation of how much you should budget, but also given the type of stone that you want to have. I wrote down a few points on my diary, so I'm just gonna keep looking at it so that I don't forget anything or just start blabbing about stuff that is actually not important. So keep up. So the first thing I wanted to discuss with you guys was first of all, I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank everyone, not just the people that were watching the series, but also the people that helped me. And I do want to just dive in and mention people by name, because you know, when you do something for someone, even though it might be so small for you, it might actually mean a lot to that person. And I feel like mentioning people when they do things for you and actually being clear on what they did, and you know, how appreciative you are and how grateful you are, it's just like a different kind of appreciation, not just for you but for that person. You just kind of like let them know how you feel. I am a person who is so I don't know how to describe it, but like but I'm not a mean person, but I don't have a way with people. I don't have the greatest way with people. So it is quite a disappointment to myself that I haven't actually reached out to this person personally, and to these people personally, and actually thank them personally. But I mean, when all of this was happening, I would like literally say thank you to everyone, you know what I mean? Like when you do something for me, I'd be like, oh, so thank you so much for this. But like sometimes it might just come as just enjoy a pass on thing, you know what I mean? Like something you are so, what can I call it? You're so wired to say thank you every time someone does something for you, that it's not special, you know. I feel like sometimes it's important to actually go back to that person and say thank you. Anyways, I am talking too much. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone that was there. Firstly, to the village, the community. You cannot do anything, especially back at home. You cannot do any ceremony or event without people. You need people. This is from the people that were in charge of the cooking, the people that were in charge of even like small things like making the fires for cooking outside, because as you would have seen from my first video from back home, from when I went back home, the video is called This Is Home, you would have seen that there was also cooking outside taking place. So all of those people that helped with everything, you guys, my deepest appreciation to everyone that took part. And I had my aunt who actually led the whole thing. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do everything without her. She literally organized the whole thing, like tell the people, just make sure that everything is going according to plan while I was still here in Cape Town. She did literally a lot. And I'm so thankful for her. And also my youngest aunt, that is my grandmother's youngest child. She was in charge. If you guys see that there was a literally a board that says Nosihle Vena's unveiling ceremony, like certain like things, small things like that I didn't think of, you know what I mean, because I had so much to think about that I wouldn't think of the little gritty things that would make the whole thing come together. She did those photos, and my aunt did give us like stuff to decorate, but she was in charge of the whole decoration. She put some flowers there. I did buy the flowers, and I did have the whole idea of putting flowers on the tombstone and everything, but she did that whole thing, cute thing that was happening where the pastor was gonna be standing, that whole thing. I was so like, I was like, oh wow, this just puts everything together, and I didn't think of it, and I appreciate this so much, the fact that you will think of something and people would be like, okay. She also did buy drinks for everyone, so I didn't have to worry about that. It's just little things like that make things easier for you, you know what I mean? So I just want to thank those people and everyone that attended, and everyone that was like telling me how proud they are of me and everything. And I just want to let you guys know that I really feel like I did not do this on my own. When I was planning for it, I was literally like, okay, I'm doing this on my own, so I have to make sure that everything is in place. But I really didn't, and there's no way I could have pulled it and it would have been a success as it was if I was doing it on my own. So just a word of thanks to everyone that was involved with that, and you guys for watching actually. The next thing that I want to talk about is the actual stone. I was so happy with the stone, you guys. When I was still here in Cape Town, I was sent photos, like I said to you guys. I don't know if this was episode 2 or 3, but I told you guys that the stone was done and finished, and I was sent photos, and I had an idea of what it looks like. But when I got there, it was so much better than I had imagined. It was bigger. It was just everything that I wanted, you know what I mean? And I was so happy. One thing that one night when I came back, when everything was done, that kept me up, was that you guys will see that throughout the whole ceremony itself, people were referring to my mother as Unosihle. Unosihle is, I don't want to mix this up. Maiden name is the name that you're given when you go to your in-laws, right? Unosihle is her maiden name. I hope I'm not mixing this up. Wait, let me check. It's actually embarrassing that I don't know. Wait, let me just make sure. Anyways, I don't know what this says. I'm not understanding it. Okay, that's the family name. That's your birth name, right? So it's the other way around. Unosihle is the name that she got when she got married. She was given when she got married, right? And then Unosipho is her maiden name, her birth name. And then she has another name, which I grew up knowing, which is Nokulele. Nokulele apparently is her nickname, right? So when I was old enough to be able to know my mother's name, the name that I knew was Unosihle, right? Because by the time I was old enough to know these things, my mother was already married to my father. I don't know when they got married, but I think they had me before they got married, and they got married shortly after I was born. I have no idea, guys. I actually have to ask these questions, but I am under the impression that they had me before they got married, but they got married shortly after I was born, right? So that's the name that I grew up knowing, right? And at the back of my mind, even though I know that that's not her birth name, it's like sometimes I forget. You know what I mean? I forget. I feel like that's her first name because that's the name I grew up knowing. So on her stone, it's written Nosihle Nosipho Vena, right? And I wished, when I was like lying down, I literally woke up in the middle of the night and I went through my, I went to look for my mother's death certificate to see uba anjani la magama bekwe kanjani, how are they put on that death certificate, because I don't have her ID. But her ID obviously is going to have her birth name. I didn't think of that, but now that I'm thinking of it now, and I didn't have her death certificate is the only documents that I have of my mom. So I went and I looked for it, and I was like, and it said Nosipho. It only had the name Nosipho then. And I was like, shit, I felt so bad, because when I was thinking about it, I was like, I should have switched the names around. I should have put Nosipho first and then Nosihle. It's not that big of a deal, but like sometimes when you think of these things, you're like, why is my mom only identified as my father's wife? You know what I mean? I wish that her identity would also be the life that she had before my dad, or not necessarily before my dad, but like I wish that she had a whole, what can I call it? She was known as an individual, you know what I mean? Not like as someone associated to my dad, which is the title for that would be my father's wife. I don't know if I'm making sense, and I don't know if I'm making a big deal out of this, but you know, sometimes to think of how this was bothering me, I even went back to like the board that she had before, the stone, like what it said on the grave. It actually said Nosihle Nosipho, so it also had the name she was given when she got married first, and then her birth name. It was bothering me to the point that I literally woke up in the middle of the night and I went to look for these documents. You know what I mean? It felt like I let her down, but I came to realize that I didn't do anything wrong, first of all, and I shouldn't feel any type of way about it, because you can't, when I was thinking about it, I just felt like you can't rebel for your parents not knowing if they would actually want you to rebel for them. I know the word rebelling, it seems out of reach, but it starts with the little things. But I just let it go, because for as long as I knew my mom embodied the wifely version of her so strongly. She loved it. She loved my dad. She loved being a wife, and that's all she was to me. That's how I saw her. So I don't think she's gonna be angry at me. I hope not, but I really don't think so. But I just wanted to mention that's one of the things that was bothering me for a while, but I let it go, because it's not, given the fact that I knew my mom like that, it's not that much of a big deal. But I'd also encourage you guys who do have parents that got married back in the day, that are literally known as whatever name they gave her when she got married, ask her if she'd pass on, would she rather, I don't know, maybe I'm just stretching it. Anyways, it's just a thought, take it or leave it. Anyways, let's move on to what you guys are here for. The cost of everything that I did when I put everything together. This is literally everything. I'm not gonna unless you guys want to know, because I think the biggest thing that you want to know is how much the stone was, but I'm not gonna like try to write down by imali, this was this much, this was this much, but I'm just gonna give you guys an estimation of how much everything was for me. This cost me about 40 to 45,000. This is everything that I needed to do to make this happen, also including the traveling back and forth, literally everything. It cost me about 40 to 45,000, and it's a lot of money to me. I don't know if it's small money to other people, but it's a lot of money. But I don't regret it one bit, you guys. I don't regret it one bit. Like I said, I was saving this from the year I was working, from June, and it was the only thing that I was saving up for. But I managed to save a little bit more, which I am going to use the rest of the money for something else that I need to be doing. But it was so worth it. And yeah, that's how much I spent on that whole ceremony. If you do want to, maybe one of you guys wants to do a tombstone unveiling for a family member, and you are close to that side, you're close to Queenstown or Stekstrom or whatever, and you want to know about the stone, because the stone was the biggest expense, and you want to know about the stone and where you can go, all of that, because the company that I was working with, you guys, they did a phenomenal job. Really, I am so happy with everything, and they did everything when they said they were going to do it. They finished the stone before I thought they would, and it was sitting there for like a week or two before we did the whole thing. So I was so happy. If you guys want to know anything about it, you can comment down in the comment section, and then maybe we can I can give you like more information when it comes to that. So yeah, that's literally everything. I'm gonna close this off now. This is the end of everything. I just thought that I should do this whole cost thing for anyone that is, looking to do something like this. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think I might just shoot a story time now, because I'm already sitting. Might as well. Might shoot a story time and post it after this, because you guys, it's so hard to shoot, because like I have to do the whole setup. I promise you, it is so hard. That just the thought of setting up and making sure the lighting is good and this and that. I feel like if we would move to another place where I'd have a studio, whatever, like a room to myself where everything is literally set up, all I have to do is press buttons, I would film more. But I'm not complaining. I'm gonna try to film more. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.